Live, trance, and prosper. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian David Phillips, and I'd like to welcome you to Deep Inside the Mind Ecstatic. Now, what in the world does that mean? Deep inside the mind ecstatic. Well, it means we're coming to Australia. Lorraine and I will be in Australia in August. For August 23 to 24, we'll be conducting Deep Inside the Mind Ecstatic, a seminar in experiential erotic hypnosis, unlocking ecstatic orgasmic experiences in Sydney, Australia. In the description for this video, you can see the link and go to the event page. A few folks have asked us, what does this mean and what are we going to learn? And so this is a quickie video to describe the experience itself. Hey, hold on a second. Before I get started into the long explanation, let me just say real quick, just so you're sure, yes, inside the mind ecstatic, deep inside the mind ecstatic, yes, you absolutely will learn erotic hypnosis. That means you will learn how to guide an appropriate consenting adult partner into arousal, sexual excitement. And you'll be able to do that with a word or a snap of the finger. You will indeed learn how to guide someone into orgasm just from your words. Now, don't get me wrong, sex is awesome, sex is cool, but you'll learn how to combine sex with neat mind stuff. Just imagine yourself with your appropriate consenting adult partner walking down the street, and all you have to do is whisper a word in his or her or its ear, and that person suddenly is like, "Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo, orgasm time." So yes, you're going to learn that stuff. Yes, I want to make sure that you understand Deep Inside the Mind Ecstatic, Sydney, Australia. You're going to learn some pretty awesome stuff. Now let's get back to the longer explanation of the course. Now the mind is the most powerful sexual organ in the body, and learn how to use it that way. So on August 23 to 24, 2014, I will be conducting a seminar in Deep Inside the Mind Ecstatic. This is part of our Mind Ecstatic series of workshops and seminars that deal with ecstatic states. Now this will be an open discussion format, so in addition to the core skill sets that I have planned to present, you'll be able to ask questions and discuss advanced material or whatever your interests are. All of my courses are an interactive format. They're also experiential, so there's going to be quite a few demonstrations and discussion and lots of practice. Essentially, when I teach a course of this type, we have a demonstration with a volunteer from one of the participants typically. And then we debrief the demonstration. We're going to what did I do, what are the steps, how can you replicate it in whatever context you're going to be working with. And then there's practice, practice, practice. So come ready to practice and master these skills. You're going to learn the basics, and you'll have time to practice and really get a feel for it with either the partner that you have enrolled with or another participant at the seminar, depending upon if you register as a single or as a couple. Now, The actual skill sets being covered, the actual syllabus is subject to change, and that's because I like to evolve the course based upon group progress and interest. But we do have a number of things that we definitely will cover, and yes, you will most certainly will learn how to experience erotic states, ecstatic experiences via guided focused trance or hypnosis. Now, the course itself is rather comprehensive and covers a number of areas of interest related to the mind ecstatic. Please, please, please understand that while we intend to cover a number of skill sets, not all of the topics will include demonstrational practice. That's because we're going to throw a lot of stuff at you, but you're going to learn the underlying operators, and you're definitely going to practice a lot. And so you'll be able to take the extra material I give you and apply it at home on your own. But you're going to learn all the core, and you're definitely going to be learning some really interesting things. Oh, come on. Deep inside the mind ecstatic, hypnotantric, erotic hypnosis, what's not to enjoy about that? Okay, so, but you will practice the operators and the methods related to working with the mind ecstatic for erotic and ecstatic responses. Okay? Now, there's a great deal of material to cover by design, but will likewise allow for a lot of fluidity and incorporate topics of interest to the participants who are actually present during the live training. I know that some folks, they would rather purchase video sets after the fact. Not all of our seminars are recorded, and not all of the ones that are recorded are actually made into products later. We do intend to record this event, but sometimes recordings don't come out. So you're best off just enrolling and having the experience live. And there are advantages to that as well, in that you'll be able to ask questions as well as to get directed guidance on areas that you're particularly weak in, or to play to your strengths. And so you'll get a lot more out of the experience. Okay? Participate in the discussions, you'll observe the demonstrations, and you're going to practice, practice, practice. Now, the first day of this 2-day seminar is going to be where we orient and delve into the mind ecstatic. And this is where we're going to hit the basics of erotic trance work. How to do simple hypnosis, entering trance, and guiding an appropriate consenting adult partner into a trance-like state. While most folks won't be professionals, some will be. And the skill sets that we'll be teaching on the first day are actually from the list of skills required for professional specialist certification in erotic hypnosis from the Society of Experiential Trance. This is the only formal hypnosis organization that recognizes erotic hypnosis in terms of professional development. Now, if you're not interested in professional certification, that's okay. Most people aren't. And if you're not a working hypnotist, there's not a lot of reasons for you to go through certification. But the skill sets you'll learn are the core skills for ecstatic and erotic work. And so you're going to get a lot out of that. For those who are not interested in certification, the skills are the solid ones that ground erotic trance work. This is things like arousal through suggestion, orgasm, intimacy, enhancement. They're all covered, as well as some other things that are fun that you might not learn elsewhere. Post-hypnotic triggers and fantasy work, which can get really wild and unusual depending upon what your fantasies are. Yes, through experiential trance work in a hypnotic state, you can actually experience a fantasy as if it's really happening, either through a guided imagery construct, which you're going to learn, or through experiential suggestion. For instance, and this isn't something that everyone is interested in, but some folks are interested in things like shape-shifting. You can actually imagine as if you physically change into another person or another being. For instance, you have Catwoman fantasies or werewolf fantasies, things like that. You can actually experience that imaginatively as if it's really happening. Of course, it's not really happening, but your imagination allows you to experience it as if it's so. Or if your fantasy is just to be on a spaceship somewhere having some hentai sex with penis tentacles, that can also be arranged if that's your cup of tea. If it's not, that's okay. You don't have to go there. You can have your own fantasies or not, depending upon what you want to play with. You can learn a lot of stuff. Core skills are arousal suggestions, where you can just, and a person begins feeling arousal, sensual sexual arousal. You can enhance your lovemaking in many, many ways. Or just have a clicker and have someone have an orgasm. Click, click, orgasm, orgasm. See some of the other videos on my website and you'll see what I mean. Especially go to the link for the event, and there's a few videos there that you're going to want to check out because they'll give you a stronger idea of the techniques in practice. Many of those techniques in those videos, yes, you will be learning. This is just an introduction discussion. Now, the second day of Deep Inside the Mind Ecstatic is predominantly going to be hypnotantra and couples intimacy enhancement, as well as fantasy exploration, in which we explore a number of concepts and techniques adapted to brief trance work from Tantra and other metaphysical approaches, but we're going to focus on erotic release. This is also when I present a number of approaches to breath erotica. Those are breathing orgasms. Yes, it is an actual visualization method wherein you can breathe to an orgasm. We're going to look at the 3-breath orgasm, 3 breaths and boom, there you go, as well as the no-touch orgasm. Now, of course, in this seminar, we're going to be playing with the APD, or acoustic pleasure device, and watch the video on my site and the event page for that. That's essentially human clicker training, where I have a clicker, click, click, and a person has arousal and orgasm. But we're going to be doing a lot of things in this seminar, and we're really looking forward to you joining us. We've got a lot of broad details and concepts prepared. You can check the event page for more on that. But we really are looking forward to meeting you in person in Sydney, Australia in August 23 and 24, 2014. Okay, this is Dr. BRIAN DAVID PHILLIPS, and I look forward to venturing deep inside the Mind Ecstatic with you in August in Sydney, Australia. For now, live trance and prosper. Bye-bye.